We got GCA doing push-ups. They doing push-ups right there. Some real nigga shit. But yeah. Let's get back into it. Um, what's up, YouTube? My name is Kai Halakala. I go by the alias Kim, which is QH triple I am, and that's mainly because white people just do not know how to pronounce my name. Can you guys hear me? That's mainly because white people just do not know how to pronounce my name. And welcome to another trader recap. Today we're gonna be going over the trade that I took on July 21st, 2026. Yeah, and with that being said, let's get right into it. I feel like this is gonna be a very, very, very fast trader recap for some reason. I don't know why. So here's a setup, blah 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 blah. Not gonna get into that now. Yeah, that day was a loss. Honestly speaking, sucks. I was so hurt about it, and no, I wasn't hurt about it. It was just annoying because I went to go take a shit, and then I missed my initial setup, and then after I missed my initial setup, I looked for another setup that is like the best quality setup I could find at the time. But what happened to me was that I was rushing it. That's another thing as well, and then that resulted in me losing. When I could have made what, $200 or some shit, but we don't give a fuck about that shit. We let go. So yeah, first thing coming to the day, the first thing I wanted to identify was my daily bias, right? And for me to identify my daily bias is to go to the higher time frame narrative because it makes it more simple. More simple. Why do I speak like that? More simple for me to like identify it on some real nigga shit, right? So 1 hour. Oh my goodness. 1 hour. Oh my goodness. 1 hour. There we go. 1 hour, went to the 1 hour time frame. I saw that we have this bullish fair value gap, this hourly bullish fair value gap that we are respecting. And I was like, okay, we're obviously leaning towards the bullish side because, we are taking out all of these, disrespecting these, bearish fair value gaps, disrespected this, disrespected that. So, we might as well be bullish today. Right, I was like, okay, the only thing that I'm going to look for is fair value gaps or key levels that are sponsored by this 1 hour gap. And then I go to the 50-minute time frame. I went to the 50-minute time frame. Why did I say that twice? That's weird. Right? In the 50-minute time frame, I saw that, okay, we have this 50-minute time. Oh my goodness. 50-minute fair value gap acting as a respected key level sponsored by this 1 hour fair value gap. And then I went to the 5-minute time frame, right? I recently added 5-minute gaps, right? Because I actually started realizing that, yo, 5-minute gaps are actually things that are respected. Like things retrace off of 5-minute gaps. You could use 5-minute gaps as confluences. And yeah, I just use these to not confuse them with these or have too many rectangles on the fucking screen. So yeah, I saw that okay, we have this 5-minute fair value gap right here, and we're inside this fair value gap, we're tracing off of that, and then I was like, okay, the only thing that I need is a confirmation standpoint, since we have both of these key levels sponsored by this, ginormous or backed up by an Audi narrative or whatever, right? So I go to the 3 minute, because that's where I started taking versions at the 3 minute and lower. I don't go any higher than 3 minute and lower. Because if you go 5 minutes, 5 minutes like to inverse a 5 minute gap, it takes like 15 minutes, right? You need three candles to inverse that gap. 3 to 4 candles, right? So that's 15 to 20 minutes. Imagine how long you're gonna be in the trade if it takes that long to even inverse the gap in the first place, right? So the best thing to do is go to like low time frame, recommended 3 minute and lower, right? Because if you go to the 3 minute, it takes like what 9 minutes, 9, 3, 6, 9, 12, 12 minutes max to inverse a fair value gap, right? Because you need four candles, right? You need the body. Um, sure, you need a fair value gap. Fair value gap is comprised of three thingamajiggies, right? Three candles, right? And then, but you maximum need four candles, which is 12 minutes, right? Which is not as much as the 5 minute, which is like 20 minutes in it. So going for lower time frames is definitely the way, but I usually like going for 2 minutes specifically. 2 minutes just have the best IFVGs personally, and 1 minute is second to 2 minutes, honestly, and 3 minute you're gonna be in that trade for quite a long time, honestly, longest time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that doesn't matter honestly. Yeah, I went to the 1 minute time frame. I found my confirmation standpoint, which was this, inside this 5 minute fair value gap. Wait, let me just. How do I? Let me just. Nigga farting? The fuck? Nigga could have saved it for the. Nigga could have saved it for the cash. In this 5 minute fair value gap, and then we have this confirmation standpoint right here as an IFVG. This was the initial plan. This was the initial setup that I wanted to take. This right here. And then my take profit was gonna be right here at this break even point, realistically speaking. Right, this was gonna be the initial thing, and then the break even was gonna be right there because we had like this gap right here. Then I didn't want us to battle against. I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this right here, and I'm gonna break even as soon as we get here, whatever, right? And as soon as we get there, maybe we're gonna go up and take profit and all that shit. But I was too busy shitting for me to be able to execute this trade. So instead, I actually executed this. It's not hideous. It's not a bad setup, honestly. It's not a. The first one is better than the second one, realistically speaking, but it's not a bad setup, right? I took this one and then we kept stalling. Like my entry point was like so fucked, bro. Like I wanted to enter like somewhere around here, but like my entry point was so fucked. So like I think the entry point is like somewhere here or something. I don't know. And then I tried to increase this. I was gonna target that as the themagy, but I was like increasing it to fix like my RRR, my risk to reward ratio, because it looked weird. Like imagine taking a trade like this, bro. Like, imagine taking a trade like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? Tell me what the fuck. This is no longer take profit anymore. This is stop profit and take loss, my nigga. What the fuck? Like, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? It sucked. Um, Chosen liquidity won as A plus as I wanted him to be. I didn't get exactly what I wanted on the second setup as what I got on the initial setup that I got or the first setup that I was supposed to take, but I missed because I was taking a shit. But that was fine, honestly. Today's another day and more opportunities in the future. With that being said, this was an A plus setup. Was it an A plus setup? Debatable. The first one was an A plus setup, but it's not a setup that I wouldn't take. Realistically speaking, I would still take it, just with better draws on liquidity and profit targets or profit margins and stop loss margins, whatever. But yeah, that's all you get from me today, brothers. My name is Kaya Khalakhala. I go by the alias Kim, and that's mainly because white people just do not know how to pronounce my name. Yeah, got some for the outro. I'm out.